Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. Today I wanted to share with you my Magicka Necromancer PvP healer with you guys. I've been having a ton of fun with this build and I found it very open to adjustment, which has made it one of the most fun builds I've played as a healer in Serial or Battlegrounds for a long while. Now first off, our food of choice is going to be the Clockwork Citrus Fillet. This is a very good food for any Magicka character in PvP. Gives you a nice health and magic buff, along with your health and magic recovery. A close second food would be the Potent Witch Mother's Brew, which you will lose out on the health recovery, and your stats will be slightly lower, but it is a very close second option for this build. Now for your pots, you can elect to run Tripots, does not matter if they're the Crown version. You can also run Spell Power Pots. Again, does not matter if they're the Crown version, they're the same on their stats. Whichever one you can have the more easy access to is the one you should use. Then we're going to talk about our attributes, race, our stats here. I choose to play a Breton. It's the best sustain for any Magicka character. You could also play an Argonian. They're very good for healers in general. But I like my sustain when I play PvP, so here we have chose to be a Breton. Here I have 36 points into my Magicka and 28 into health. I do this so I can be over 30k health. You see here I'm at 32.3k, and I'm at 35k Magicka. Now unbuffed, other than our food, we have just about 1000 health recovery here. That's going to be halved in PvP, so you're going to get about 500 health back every 2 seconds, and about 1584 Magicka recovery. Our resistances here, about 20k physical resistance, and 22.1k spell resistance, and nearly 2500 critical resistance. I choose to run the Mage, Stone. You can also run the Atronach. Again, sustain is a very nice thing to have when you're playing a Magicka character, especially a healer. You can keep pumping out your spells one after another. So if you feel like that's going to be the better Mundus Stone for you, go ahead and play with the Atronach instead of the Mage. Now for our sets, I'm running 6 heavy, 1 medium. That's to proc your Undaunted passive for a little bit of extra resources. I have 5 pieces, all heavy. They're all going to be Shackle Breaker here. It's 2 lines of recovery, another line of damage, which boosts your heals further, and your max mag, max stamina. Gonna make you a more powerful healer, and help you survive since you have that extra stamina if you need to escape, dodge roll, sprint, anything in there. You should ideally be running 3 pieces of reinforced. These will be your big pieces, the head, the chest, and the legs. And all your small pieces here should be infused, or impenetrable, excuse me. Then our jewels, we're running Winter's Respite. It's a very nice set. It's gonna you'll be up on cooldown. Every 10 seconds you're gonna have this circle of healing frost on the ground. Every 2 seconds it's gonna proc a heal that scales with your max magicka or stamina, along with giving you 2 lines of max mag and another line of recovery. I have all these with spell damage and chance with the arcane trait. Again, you can boost up your max mag, you're going to be doing more healing. You can run a cost reduction or recovery glyph here if you feel like you need it, but the way I've had my build set up, I have not needed that. Again, that's another personal preference change. Very nice thing about this build that you can change and you're not going to be losing too much healing power. Now our front bar is going to be sword and board. I have my mace here as defending. Does not matter which one-handed weapon you have. Since you are sword and board, it's not going to matter. Get whichever one you can get your hands on the easiest. And I would suggest that you use defending. Give yourself extra resistances on that front bar. Your shield, any trait, I would prefer that you have reinforced, impenetrable, or infused, but sturdy will work if you are going to choose to block a little bit more. Again, have tri-stat on your shield. Back bar, of course, you're going to have your restoration staff empowered. Magicka, absorbment enchant, you can do berserker enchant, get that damage up, which will make you do more heals. And for our monster set, I've chose to run Sentinel. Now, Sentinel is not the best PvP healing set out there, but the reason I have chose to run it is for that Magicka and Stamina Restore. If you do not want to run this set, which is entirely optional, and another key point of this set is you can change out the monster set for whatever you prefer to run, and you will not lose any power in the build. You can run Bogdan, you can run Chokethorn, Earthgore, whichever monster set you prefer here. But I've been having a lot of fun and a lot of success running Sentinel. Now we're going to go over our skills. We're going to start with the front bar. Overflowing Altar from the Undaunted tree. Nice little minor lifesteal applies to your enemies. Anyone in 28 meters that damages an enemy with minor lifesteal on them is going to heal for about 636 health. Then they can also activate the synergy, instantly heal for 65% of their max health. Very nice oh shit synergy. Somebody hits that, boom, their health is back. The Necrotic Orb, also from the Undaunted line. I would have you morph this to the Energy Orb. It's going to heal your teammates when it goes by them, once you have that morph. About every half a second, I believe. It's a very powerful heal. I would not ever recommend that you choose to not run Energy Orb on your build. The Agony Totem comes from the Bone Tyrant tree. Nice little fear that applies every 2 seconds. Gives you minor protection. Can also weaken your enemies with that synergy there. Make them take more damage with a little bit of damage over time. Summoner's Armor. It's going to be your major resolve. Reduces the cost of your Spirit Mender, which helps you cast those spells so frequently with your sustain, and creates a corpse for you to use with your other healing abilities. Here we're going to be using Siege Weapon Shield, and I'm going to repeat this very clearly. This is for Cyrodiil play only. Unslot this if you were going in Battlegrounds or the Imperial City. And if you are going to unslot this ability, replace it with Dead in Pain. Right here, it's a nice little heal over time, gives you ultimate and major protection. While you have it slotted, your damage is reduced by 3%. This will be a little bit more effective for you in group play in Cyrodiil, especially if you're shielding your enemies while you're sieging a castle. It's a very nice little skill to have. Also gives you a little bit more sustain, which I'll get into shortly. Then on this front bar, we run Reviving Barrier. Again, your shield and heals are going to be halved in PvP, but that's still a very strong shield that lasts for 30 seconds, and it heals your teammates while they're shielded. So while they're shielded, they're going to be getting their health back on top of whatever heals you might already be applying to them. It's a very strong ultimate. Our back bar restoration staff, we run Healing Springs. We run this for the extra Magicka restored. Especially when you're playing with a group, this is ticking, you're getting a lot of magic right back. You're still doing the same amount of healing, if just a little bit less. But on top of all your other healing, that's not going to matter too much, and you're getting that extra recovery. Radiating Regeneration, your standard heal over time for any build in the game, especially in PvP. Go ahead and grab this skill, it's going to be great for you. Braided Tether, Another Necro heal requires a corpse. It's going to do a little bit of AoE healing in 5-meter range. It's a very nice skill. It's going to increase any healing you do by 3% just for having it slotted. Enduring Undeath. And I'm going to repeat this as well. With the state of the game in PvP, where people are running Plague Break like crazy, do not use the morph of this skill that purges. Use Enduring Undeath. It's a nice little burst heal there. And then on top of that, you're going to have the heal over time if you cast it on a corpse. Spirit Guardian. It's going to do every 10% of damage you take is going to go to the spirit instead. And they're going to be alive for 16 seconds, healing you or your ally every 2 seconds. Also creates another corpse for you to use with these two abilities here. And then our ultimate on this bar, something you can change if you do not prefer to use it, is Renewing Animation. You can resurrect 3 allies wherever they are, and for those 3 allies you resurrect, you restore almost 1600 resources, Magicka stamina. It's a very nice little ultimate to have in your back bar. If you want to choose something else, go ahead and put on your Ravenous Goliath, go ahead and put on your Colossus, put on whatever you want there. I like having this for when I play in Cyrodiil. Then I don't have to sit there and res somebody. I pop this ultimate, I'm full on resources, I can keep playing the game. And my teammates are alive. Now let's go to our CP. As always, I advocate that you don't need to pay attention to your green tree if you're going to be a PvP player. Nothing in here is crazy relatable to what you want to, think about in PvP. Now our blue tree, first skill is going to be Resilience, buff up your crit resist there. Swift Renewal, any healing over time is going to be 10% stronger. Ironclad, a 10% damage reduction from direct damage. Soothing Tide to do extra AoE healing by another 10%. Then you can go ahead and pick up all these little skills in between. And then our red tree. Start with Boundless Vitality, just a bit of extra health. Rejuvenation, extra recovery. Pain's Refuge. Now with the state of the game, Plague Break, you don't want to purge. In Cyrodiil or other PvP situations, that means you're going to have a lot of negative effects on you. This means you're going to take less damage with all these negative effects on you, up to a maximum of 20%. And on top of that, I use Sustained by Suffering. All those negative effects on you are also going to give you 150 extra recovery across the board. Then I also just have these little guys here slotted, some extra resources, cost reductions. Make sure you pick them up because they are passive and you don't need to slot them all. And that is the build I've been running for my Magicka Necromancer PvP healer. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.